here in Nevada, California with
Reno.
Sharon and her husband, Jim. Now, you guys have been married for a long time.
47 and a half.
Okay, Jim, when you first met my parents,
Could be 48
okay,
next month.
when you first met my parents, I know that was pretty good, but I have to apologize for something. When you first came over, I know I put peanut butter on your popcorn, and I'm sorry. I was trying to impress
You should
you.
let me tell the story.
Okay, go ahead.
Our first date?
The first time I seen your
date.
dad. Yeah, she said, "Hey, you guys want some popcorn down there?"
We're downstairs
Yeah,
by the
we're
fireplace,
downstairs.
probably necking and listening to
Oh, I
music.
think we had some friends with us.
Oh, okay. All right. You remember.
And I started thinking about that. Oh, is that going to taste good? And the more I thought about it, and I could hear it popping up there, and I thought, wow, this is going to be really great. I was just so
Smell,
looking forward
aroma.
to this, you know. And then it comes down in a big bowl, and when we're sitting around there, and I take a handful, and I put it in my mouth, and I said, "What is this?" And she said, "I says, what did you put on it?" She says, "Peanut butter." I said, "Put peanut butter on the popcorn? Why?" "Because we didn't have any butter." "Oh, good reason."
Okay, so
I was trying to impress you,
Every time I
Jim.
eat popcorn, I get that taste.
Okay, but Jim, I was trying to impress
47
you.
and 3/4 years. she's
Okay,
got that.
I'll tell you one thing. My
So
parents
I really had
kind
to
of,
consider what I was getting into here.
yeah, but my parents liked you, Jim. You were
Well,
down to
On our
earth.
very first date, I didn't know how to introduce him, Lou or Jim. So I just quickly showed him who he was, and we went out the door. I was embarrassed, kind of,
And her
because I didn't know
her
his
dad
name.
reminded me of John Glenn. At the time that I got out of the Navy, John Glenn was going to go in orbit on an Atlas. And just as they were ready to go, they scrubbed the mission. And then, by the time I was home, he made the trip around the Earth. So that's when I got out of the Navy. A month later, I met her, right?
At a dance.
And at the July 4th reunion, you remember we all sang to them,
Oh, yeah.
you know, with their anniversary, because they've been around a long time.
Yeah.
Do you really think that my parents were happy, Jim?
About what?
Oh, about being together, and did you like the idea of going to Oglesby and just stuff
All
like
I
that?
can remember is your dad going like that, and your mom putting her eyebrows way up in the air. Really grand. That's all I can remember.
What'd you think about
And then I
the?
remember the day he was chasing her around the backyard with a beehive. Or no, with a bee, with a what do they call that?
Bees on a stick or something.
A
Swarm of bees.
Swarm. A swarm. He had a swarm.
He was a
It
practical
was
joker.
like a big tear. And every time he'd run, the tear would go, ooh, like that. And he's chasing her around.
And they were
That's
both
another
laughing.
story.
They were both
I know.
laughing so hard. But what did you think of the shack in Oglesby?
I've never seen so many mosquitoes in my life.
What'd
Couldn't
you-
even get near the
What
thing.
did you think of the outhouse?
I didn't go to the outhouse.
Okay. What did you think of the swing?
What swing?
Oh, okay.
Very good.
I love the swing.
That was the fun.
Okay, how about being on the boat or barges or?
Okay, how about Uncle Denny? I mean, come on, that was my dad's
Uncle Benny.
look-alike.
Uncle Benny, yeah. He's a good guy, nice guy. Talked with him a lot. Chat away with everybody else at Slim's. Was it Slim's?
Yes,
Slept a lot.
And then,
slept a lot. Yeah.
Aunt Honey was a good cook.
then I was talking with Jeff about Uncle Rudy. See, because Jeff had gotten 2 new pennies. And I said I needed those two new pennies because of Uncle Rudy. And they said, well, what are 2 pennies got to do with Uncle Rudy? Well, see, Uncle Rudy during the war worked at Ford Motor Company, or Ford Aircraft, as an inspector. And he had a micrometer. A micrometer is a thing that accurately measures a circle, a pipe, or something like that. A rod or something like that. It's a micrometer. And he had a 1 inch and a 2 inch. And he gave those to me. And in it is in the 1 inch are 2 pennies. It's a box. You open up the box and you see the micrometer nice and neat in there, and there's 2 pennies. And he says, always keep those pennies new, because when the moisture comes in, the pennies will corrode and the micrometers won't. That's why the 2 pennies were put in there by the manufacturer. So the two pennies that are in there now are 1963. He kept it up till 1963. They're still 1963.
That's the year you got married.
Well, that's the last time when he put it in, and then somehow I don't know if Rudy gave them to me or whether I got them after Rudy passed away.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now I'm going to take the new pennies that Jeff gave me and take out the old 1963s and put in the new ones.
That's
And,
impressive.
I just worked with the micrometers the other day. They're very handy. They use them today, and
What else do you remember about Oglesby?
Sharon, now Uncle Rudy was Ma's brother. Did he
Yes.
ever go to Oglesby?
I bet he did.
Yeah.
To the cabin, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary Beth. Excuse
Oh,
us.
it's time for dinner.
Hello?
We're sitting now in Reno, and Sharon had a really good story to share, which I say, you go, girl.
Well, I just wanted to get this one last part in about Aunt Honey. Aunt Honey was so special. I remember when Debbie was born, and that was the first time I ever experienced a mom breastfeeding a child. I mean, that was really special. Mom breastfeeding her baby. Secondly, another very special moment was she took me and my sisters and her kids, of course, to the theater in town, and I saw my very first movie in a theater, and it was Walt Disney Desert. I love that movie to this day, and I also went out and bought the book, Walt Disney Desert. That's what I wanted
And
to
do
say.
you remember when Aunt Helen used to take us bowling?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
And I remember when Mitzi was
yeah.
born, and then Anne was born. Actually, Anne was born, and then Mitzi was born. Okay, we gotta get back to the group. Hello.
Wait. Oh, hello.
see me fold my cane.
We're still in Reno. We're in different clothes and we're in a different place. But we're still in Reno. We lost Donna and Larry. They're in a lounge or whatever. But we'll see them later. Okay. Sharon, when you used to go by Aunt Honey's to stay overnight,
Yes.
what I'm going to ask Donna is,
Yes.
do you remember Donna and Diana's bedroom? They had all those shoe boxes
Yes.
underneath the bed.
Yes.
My question to those two girls is, did Aunt Honey, on a weekly cleaning, make them take them all out to dust underneath the bed?
Oh, it's a family tradition.
Oh, okay. And what room did you sleep in when
The
you used
first
to?
one, on the right.
By the
Very-
kitchen?
Yes, very, very comfortable. Blinds on the windows, lots of comfy blankets, quiet, and clean, of course. It was really a pleasure.
What do you remember about Aunt Helen's kitchen with all the tile and stuff?
Yeah, she was a gem. And Helen, she spoke it, she said it like it was. And I appreciate that.
Well, I think we better quit because we're in a show. But I just had to get those last tidbits in there because you're going back to California tomorrow, and then we're going home.
Oh, okay. This has been grand. This has been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of good family history too.
Yeah, that too.
The fact that we're
Okay,
sisters.
here we are in Reno still, and Sharon's got a different outfit.
Well, I sweat a lot. You gotta change.
Oh, Sharon. Here we are, it's still in Reno, and Sharon's got a new outfit on.
Well, she's lost weight, so she's just.
She looks beautiful.
Yes, she does. She looks.
But we're in
great.
another location. Here we are, in another location.
Fun.
Let's
Patsy
talk about.
makes us laugh. She thinks she's not funny person, but
Okay.
trust me.
Yes.
Last night-
and her feng shui. Is that what she is?
Feng shui.
Which did not help any, but there was
Oh,
hope.
putting the mousse soap thing
Yeah,
with
for
the
the
oranges
Lakers,
on
they
the
still
couch.
lost.
Okay, didn't work.
Yeah. we're
Okay.
hoping for the
Right
Lakers.
outside of.
Girls, so you remember Aunt Helen taking you bowling?
Of course. Yes. Yeah. And she's the one who taught us how to scorekeep, how to keep the score, and just the basic fundamentals of the game.
Oh, I love Aunt Helen.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a special lady.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the stories she used to tell, or the guys used to say about her older brothers. If she wanted to talk to her family, she'd go over to Slim's, and she'd come up to the bar with a wedding card or a baby shower card and say, "Here, guys, pitch in," and sign the card, pitch in the money, and we've got some of those cards around. That was really special.
And Helen was always the spark. She'd be the one that would say, okay, we're going swimming. Everybody get in the car. And we'd all get in the car and go down to Bailey Falls. And I'm sure she's the one who taught us how to swim. She
excelled in all sports.
Yeah, didn't stay still very long.
No.
I can remember my dad loved to go over her house when she fixed Lithuanian food. So my mother never fixed the Lithuanian food, but Aunt Helen did.
Right. And your dad was a nice, quiet, loving guy. Always a smile on his face.
Right. I think about Patsy now. And my dad was the number 3 child.
Oh.
And if we want more information on that,
Yes.
see Miss Pat, because she's the authority on the 3rd child.
Absolutely.
So it's Uncle Joe, Uncle Jimmy, Uncle John,
Yeah.
and then Pete, and
No,
then
yeah, right. And Helen was,
Helen. Oh, that probably explains a lot of stuff
of course. And,
about Uncle John, Uncle Jimmy.
and if you want more information, check with the authority.
The third person child.
Yeah, because my dad was just so mellow. He just...
Did he want to be part of the wallpaper more than being outgoing? There you go.
But he was quietly having fun. I'm telling you, best disposition.
But because the 2 older brothers were both so serious and they
strong.
were so strong. My Uncle Jimmy rules. My Uncle Jimmy made the decisions. And Uncle Pete was so fun and so funny. I think my dad always wished he could be Uncle Pete.
Well, I don't know, they're like
No,
two
but
pieces
that's the
of
4th child then, my dad.
Yeah, right. So, yeah.
There's somebody moaning.
They probably lost at the casino thing.
Somebody's
We're here at the El Dorado Hotel Casino in Reno, Nevada.
I got 2 bad legs, so it's gonna have 2 canes.
We're finishing up our trip as we travel back to Camarillo. We're about ready to have breakfast at their buffet. And these folks are going to do what today?
I can sell that.
Well, we're going to try to go to Virginia City on the way home, and it's about 35 minutes from here. But I think they had a book in our room about what to see and do, and I think you guys saw pretty much everything there was to do in Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
I'm very impressed with this hotel. With everything.
We'd stay here.
It's like, oh, absolutely. Down home, welcoming, and the quality of the beds, the coffee.
Just like your house.
Oh,
Just like your
Oh,
house.
yeah.
You know, those 2 houses.
Take a gander at that stained glass window. I think it's just a little bit different here.
You got pretty stained glass windows in
Well,
your
yeah.
carriage.
No, I mean, but when we were kids and we'd have to stay overnight or something, we always felt at home. I don't know.
So comfortable.
When did you have the first? When did you first thinking about us as cousins in Chicago?
Well, it always was.
I mean, did you ever put like, gee, I got cousins in Chicago? I think when I got older, I realized, hey, I got cousins around Starved Rock. But I never paid attention like in grade
but
school
you
or
know
high
what?
school.
Your dad was always so good about coming to Oglesby. I mean, I think from day one, your dad came to Oglesby a lot.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so you were always just part of our lives. I mean, I don't think that I could say May 11th, 1949, you started coming or something. I mean, you just always
Yeah, the men would discuss the fact that Chicago got so much
I'm sure.
of the taxpayer money in the state for better roads up there, and the crooked politicians, if you say that. So, and then the men would discuss
They had free food there.
the Democratic Party. I think majority of them are Democrats. And other than
because
that,
of
they would,
unions.
they would discuss fishing and the best doughboy recipe
Get them a little loose.
was always out front. And
But now you guys, you traveled more to see us than we traveled to
Yes,
see you.
that's true.
But weren't the roads horrible at first? I mean,
Well,
didn't
like-
it take you a long time
Oh
to get
yeah, a
to
long time, and it was dark at night, and sometimes Dad had one too many beers. So so my mom would get him in the passenger side of the car, and then they travel all the way home, and then she'd bump him and say, "Peter, open up the garage door," and boot him out, so you know, and then they were back there on noon. I mean, one time she was so aggravated with them. She says, "You're coming home with it's right around Thanksgiving time. Are you coming home now or not?" And he's giving her a bad time because he was enjoying himself so much. So she left.
It is.
She left
They don't want you
him in
complaining. They want
Oglesby.
you
And it was a good thing there was a neighbor or somebody coming up to Chicago
They're
that
gonna have to
weekend,
change their ways.
next day, to bring Dad home. That was funny. That was really
Your dad did.
lots of.
I think Oglesby, especially the cabin on the river, was my dad's vacation home.
Oh, yeah.
That was where he can get
He
away from the
worked hard all
everyday,
week.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, my dad loved it too. And talk about
So you stayed at the.
a home. I mean, they used scrap lumber from everybody to put it together.
Yeah,
But
it's a
it
rainbow
worked.
cabin.
It works, the rainbow cabin, the coat of many colors. Yeah, right. They made it work. They did. And how lucky we were to have that. I mean, it was a wonderful
It was a place to be a
location.
kid, and Sharon talks about a swing in the tree. I forgot about that.
There was
Oh come on! It was a beautiful swing. It was strong. It was long and length.
Yeah. It was. They were, I mean, like I was saying to Sharon, we were looking at it. I don't remember my dad having that many friends. He mostly just always associated with family.
Yeah.
There was always just so much family. And,
Tell us about his military service.
well, I really don't know that much. Larry, can you say anything about my dad's military service? I mean, he was in the
No
Navy.
idea.
Yeah. But he never
I
talked
know
that
he
much.
had a Hawaiian girlfriend.
Oh,
with a
Larry,
grass
would you
skirt.
stop that?
There is a picture.
And
You're
it's a
being
paid
recorded, Larry.
picture.
That's okay. Truth is the truth.
Oh,
There's a
Larry.
picture. It's common. There's an actual picture.
Oh,
There's a
Absolutely.
she's cute.
Jeff, you know you could
Good
pay
looking, yeah.
somebody
She's
to
cute as a bug. I don't know
Larry.
what she is.
What did you call your father-in-law? When did you first meet him, Larry? When did you really first meet your father-in-law?
When Donna took me home to see if I was acceptable.
So you had to be approved by the family. This wasn't done at first?
Well, we met in Turkey, you know, and so there was no way that they could have met him until we came back to the States. And then we went and he came to Oglesby and met my family, and then I went to Indiana and met his family.
And Larry, what did you think of, what was your first impression of Oglesby?
Just like my hometown.
Oh, so you're both from a small hometown.
Rinky dink.
But we got
Full of
curves and
bars,
hills.
full of
Okay.
bars.
Oh yeah, taverns.
But from where you're at, are you a flatlander?
Oh
There's a lot of hills there too? So you married your equal, really?
We were,
Oh, that's so romantic.
And you're both second born.
yeah.
You're second born. She's second.
And when's your birthday?
August 29th.
No.
You could ask Sharon. She'll tell
And when's your birthday?
August 29th.
Oh, you're a June baby and he's in August.
Sorry.
Okay.
Same day.
Same day?
And Sharon.
29th? Not Donna.
Sharon.
Sharon and
But hers
Larry.
is June 10th.
Yeah, Sharon and Larry's birthday is the same day. Same day.
What did you think of Aunt Honey's cooking? Or your mother-in-law's cooking?
Not much German, but Italian was super
Oh.
Yeah.
She made everything homemade.
I
Oh,
love
yeah,
her
well,
pies.
good.
Yeah.
So did the Germans.
Yeah. Larry's mother was a terrific cook. Larry's mother just
So you married your equal again. Both of your mothers are equally good cooks. One is German, one's Italian.
yeah, right.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Then you bring in Jeff, and his mom was fantastic.
And my mother-in-law was Polish, and she was an excellent
Yeah,
cook.
Excellent.
I really would have to say that my mother was probably a better baker than a cooker. I mean, she excelled at sweets.
Oh,
Just,
the pie crust?
Oh,
I
to
mean,
die for.
my
To die
father-in-law
for.
taught me how to Well, it was between my father-in-law and Honey, the pie bakers. I'm telling you, Aunt Honey had it down. I would just watch and envy. I know how to roll out a pie.
Yeah.
Well, she put together the dough using lard.
Yes.
And then filling it, and then the top she would take an egg white, and that's what gives that pretty finishing touch. And then on the edges, just so that you can put it around.
But it's just kind of funny though. She never could teach anybody. Like all three of us, the girls, really didn't work in the kitchen because you'd say to her, "Well, Mom, how do you do this?" And she'd say, "I don't write it down. It just feels right. When it's got enough water."
She wrote down her wheat, her dinner rolls, her
Yeah.
baked rolls. I got that recipe.
Yeah.
She did write down.
What made you go over to Turkey to teach school?
Well, wait, we can't do that yet.
Yeah,
I'm being recorded
that really is. See.
because,
But,
You know?
yeah, kinda.
Oh, why
She
can't
went
we
to
talk-
Turkey. Well, first I just want to ask some questions about grandparents.
Okay.
Do you
Right.
remember anything?
Well, the stories I remember, nobody else seems to
Okay.
remember that. Like, well, I heard, of course, that Grandma and Grandpa came to where they lived on Florence Street, and it was an Italian neighborhood, and they just stood out because they were both so tall and so big, and they were just so much bigger than the other people. And I can. There's Jim.
Jim.
Then I can remember us having to dress up on Sunday and go over and after church and just to see the grandparents and aunts and uncles. And that. Should we continue this later?
Okay, here we are still in Reno. Sharon's got a different outfit on, but this is cool. Okay, ask your question.
Well, okay, I want to talk about Dad's Army time. Okay, he went in the Army. He registered in Oglesby, Illinois, with some guys, and this was like 1940 or something like that. And then he got out in the early part of 1941 because of his age. He was well over 30. And then I'm trying to remember where he went, and I don't have the papers right here. But I'm thinking he went to Ardennes, France, Germany, but he went to South Africa. And his discharge paper from that time is that's where he got yellow fever. So he went back home to Oglesby. And then December 11th, 1941 happened, and he rejoined. And when he rejoined, he went to Campo, California, and he was with the 10th Cavalry. And they were there for so long, and then they moved forward to Georgia. And that's when my mom came down from Chicago, and they got married. And then they left the horses behind. I think they left the horses behind in Campo, California. And then he was with the 10th Armored. The 10th Armored Division with the tanks, and he went over on a ship to France and Germany. I just want to make that point clear. Now, Jeff, do you
Can I
agree with
say
what I'm
something?
saying?
Oh, can I say
Do you know anything
something?
about my dad's history?
Jeff's father and my father
Yeah.
were both in the Battle of the Bulge. He was in the 5th Armored, your dad, and Dad was in
And
the 10th.
I know for sure your dad was there as they opened up these concentration camps and seen
Yes.
the men.
But one other thing is,
My dad might have been, I don't know.
okay, but wait, our dad, Peter T., was the Lithuanian translator, and his dad was the Polish translator.
No kidding.
So whenever they went to these homes, they had to talk to the staff to find out where the good booze was.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
It's very,
Pete was the Polish translator?
Jeff's
His
father.
dad he was the Lithuanian translator.
Because my dad used to say, our dad, that he would go up to these houses and he'd talk to the staff, because the German employed, you know. And if they were Lithuanian, Dad would talk them into it, and he'd get that good wine. And we got those wine labels. Jim, she got the wine labels, and he scanned them for me, and I framed them in my kitchen. The real German, French wine labels. That was really nice, Jim, how you did that.
I was talking about your dad coming home.
The
from
wine
World War
labels.
II. When did he come home? When?
You know what? I don't know.
But you were born in 44.
No.
Okay, so
Well, my dad was in the service when my brother and I were born, and so
Wait a minute, your brother and you were born?
well, I know
maybe-
my brother was for sure.
And then I think he came home.
What year was Dennis
And
born?
then you were born later on. I'm thinking.
I was born in 44, so he must have been born in 42. Yeah, he was about it. But I remember the pictures of Dennis in a little Navy
Oh, yeah.
outfit and my
Who
dad.
has those pictures?
I think Dennis was born when he was over,
Yeah,
and then he came home, and then you were born
yeah,
in 44.
40. Right, yeah, right. And it was wartime. I mean, like all of the aunts moved in with my grandfather, and so we all kind of.
You all lived together.
You mean on your mother's
My
side?
mother's
How many people do you think lived with you while there?
my Auntie Reen, my mom. I'm not sure if my Aunt Catherine lived there with her.
But where were you living in Oglesby?
Well, in
With my mother's father.
So you weren't living in that house yet?
Orange Street. Well, I probably did live there because then when my dad got out of the service,
Is that when he bought the house?
I thought it belonged to Grandpa James.
yeah, it was a
How
homestead.
did you?
Yes.
But I thought that was your house. Aunt Helen had one,
And
and
then
Uncle.
Aunt Helen lived next door.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
let's-
when did you move there?
I think when my dad got out of the service, they moved
Yeah.
there. They lived in that house all their lives.
So
Yeah.
who was
So
living?
maybe,
Who was living there before you moved in?
well,
I think it was a
maybe
grandparents.
maybe it comes back to the story Sharon tells that Grandpa James kind of dabbled in real estate and bought different.
Well, he sure, I have some notes from Audrey, and she talks about our grandpa training those white horses
Yeah.
down in your cellar. Your big garage doors would open up in the wintertime. When he wanted to work with the horses, he'd take them down in your basement. Audrey says that. Yeah.
Oh, because for a long time they did have doors, remember?
Yeah.
And when was it in the 60s or the 70s they opened it up?
And they didn't come through Ellis Island. Grandpa snuck down through Canada.
Canada.
I think he was leaving Lithuania and he didn't want to let
Well,
them
now
know.
Larry has a story about that because Larry worked with a Lithuanian woman, and didn't you around that time period? Didn't she say that there was a lot of political turmoil
Oh,
in
yeah.
Lithuania? Right.
So he was an illegal?
Yeah, I know.
Grandpa wasn't illegal.
That always kills me when I have.
So his name is not on the Ellis Island.